Bollywood entertainment, Bollywood gossip, Bollywood classics, to the latest hits, local news and events happening around town, giveaways, and lots of masti. This is Namaste Radio.
Every Saturday at 10 a.m. on 99.5 FM with your hosts Vanshika, Sushil, and Dolly D.
Listen online at namasteradiohouston.com. Download the app, available on your Android and iPhone.
Namaste Radio.
Welcome to India House Houston. India House is a non-profit organization that serves the community by bringing resources, education, and services to Houstonians like health and fitness programs, language classes, charity clinic, and various events. Help the community now. Sponsor a program or volunteer for free food distribution at India House. Host your next indoor or outdoor events at India House facility, parties, weddings, or corporate events. Located centrally at 8888 West Belford, Houston. For details, call 713-929-1900 or visit indiahouseinc.org. Follow India House Houston on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Namaste and good morning to Namaste Radio's this special edition on mental health awareness. And today we have a very special topic, which is very important. And this entire month, we have been doing this special show on mental health awareness every Monday, noon to 1 p.m. This is Namaste Radio. मैं हूँ वंशिका and मेरे साथ हैं संदीप. Today, you are listening to us on 99.5 FM, and also you can watch us live on Namaste Radio Facebook page and India House Houston Facebook page. I hope you all are out there safe and driving safe and or at home safe. The weather is pretty bad outside, but we hope that you all are safe out there. So let's start our show, and this is our final show for this series for this month. And we thank India House Houston for giving us this opportunity and for letting us do this special shows on mental health awareness. This show is brought to you by Namaste Radio, India House Houston, and in partnership with Hawk Foundation for Mental Health and AAHC, which is Asian American Health Coalition. My guests for today have been with us in the past, and we are so happy that they could join us today again and talk on this very important topic. Allow me to welcome Deepti Patel and Aneela Khan. Deepti is a certified professional life coach specializing in relationship and divorce coaching, and Aneela Khan is the community behavioral health project manager at Asian American Health Coalition. Welcome to Namaste Radio, Deepti and Aneela.
Thank you so much, Vanshika, and congratulations on having such an important topic, because this is something that we never discuss. First of all, mental health is not a favorite topic in our households, and on top of that, even if we do discuss about mental health, it's usually related to women or youth is now coming up and talking about the importance of mental health. But somehow the men in our community never stand up as if they never have a mental issue until there is a sort of a crisis. So thank you so much for having this topic today. So as far as your question is that in our society, we see that men are not treated as normal human emotions. So I think that's a really nice way to put it. And during our upbringing in our households, we have seen that if there is a daughter and a son, the son is always told, even if he gets hurt, if he falls down, the 5 or 6 years a kid, 8 years kid, 10 years kid, he's told, oh, don't cry that much. You are a brave boy. So it is a continuously the way that we treat men, that you cannot cry, you cannot express this feeling because you are a brave boy. So when in later on in life, when there are situations they are hurt or there is something they need to express, they would never open up and show their emotions. And that, in a way, when you are internalizing a lot of things, uh, things hype up inside, and it could manifest as different situations. Sometimes men get aggressive, sometimes they stop talking. So somewhere down the line, how we bring up our sons, how our brothers are brought up, contributes to how they behave.
Thank you, Aneela. And that is some really important point because, like you said, we need to talk more about it, because at the end of the day, it's not only mental health is not only with women or with, kids, it is men also. Deepti, would you like to add something to that?
Yes, to Anila's point, not to repeat what she said, the childhood bringing and all that, it affects later in our lives. And when I deal with my clients, is more after a lot of things are too late. They're going through the divorce, or they have relationship issues where, number one, they cannot communicate well with their spouse at the emotional level. And it's true that, we're seen as tough people, and men hold their feelings, their true feelings, and they can really have hard, long-term impact in their behavior and mental illness. And depression is number one out there.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again, Deepti, and thank you so much, Aneela, for joining us today. We had a little bit of technical difficulties in the beginning, but this is what happens when we try to do a hybrid show with the weather also not supporting us. So today, actually, I want to thank Sandeep for helping us out, because we are doing a hybrid show where the two of us are in studio, but you are doing the show virtually, and we are also combining Zoom to go live on Facebook, and we are on air on 99.5 FM. So thank you so much again. And we are talking about mental health in men. And in our Desi society, we have always seen that it's kind of a taboo, or it's kind of a way that, people don't want to talk about mental health in men. But we need to talk about it. And this is a small initiative from our side, put together by India House, by Hawk Foundation, by Asian American Health Coalition. And thank you, Deepti, again for joining. So in continuing our conversation, Aneela, this question is for you specifically. Tell us about the different expectation of gender role and authority in Asian American men versus the men in USA, or the non-Asian American men here. I know you kind of touched a little bit, but a little more detail in that.
So for this, Vanshika, we'll have to go a little back. So right now in Houston, we have a society that's composed of recent immigrants, first generation Americans, second generation Americans, and all of them have slightly different aspects, and some of them have those who are the first and the second generations have kind of assimilated into the US culture, but who have recently immigrated, or who, because we live in a multi-generational household, so we do have people in the house who still are not US born. So I don't have the exact percentages, but a lot of us from the Asian community are not US born. So when we migrate here, the way the society is back home, the way the culture is back home, is that the man is the breadwinner. He's the decision maker of the household, whether it's the father, whether it's the elder son. So he's the one who has to make the decision, who has to put food on the table. I know people are getting more aware. Women are stepping up to make joint decisions, but in majority of these households, it's still somewhere men have an upper edge. So when they migrate here, things change a little bit. So it's not exactly what is in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. Here, women are more empowered, sometimes with their education background or for some other reason, they're able to earn more than men. So, that makes a really big difference, because sometimes when the women is working, they're bringing in, contributing the finances of the household, then of course they would need to contribute to the decision of the household as well. So when these gender roles shift, it's not so easy to get accommodated in the household with the culture of back home and the US culture. And similarly, when there are US born children, then of course our new generation wants to contribute, our daughters wants to contribute in those decisions. But how much are we giving them the chance to do that? That's a separate thing. So this is how those gender switch and the authority is kind of a confusion when we have a culture that's different to the US culture.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, Aneela. Now, Deepti, you are a life coach specializing in relationship. So, about men that you have seen in your practice when you are talking to them, um, tell us, like men have anxiety, men have depression. What do men fear, or what kind of stresses do they have? The most common among that. Tell us about that, Deepti.
Things are shifting, absolutely. Now men are fearing how to keep up with the women, right? Now the
Right.
women are independent. They are earners. They earn even more money. The freedom is there. So men fear to keep up with that particular area in finances. Are they going to be able to keep up with this image of having being the producer or the man of the house or earner. So men have that biggest fear of women empowerment, right? That's going around. The second fear men have is family unity, right? That dynamic is changing. So there's stress and mental health, anxiety. Now, who's going to take care of the in-laws or the parents that are there? Women, I'm hearing from a lot of men out there that women are not now compromising. They're not sharing this responsibility. I think what women in the past have seen their mothers go through difficult times, so they're becoming extremely aggressive and aggressively independent, difficult to kind of have kind of those balanced conversations to continue, and they give up, right? Give up too easily. So next thing you know, men fear, how can I keep up with the relationship, keep my lady or woman happy, that this marriage can survive, and it's very hard. Men don't talk about it. You don't hear men saying, "Oh, I'm having depression." By the way, did you hear Vivek was having problems with his wife? We don't hear those kind of things. Men don't talk within the men. They don't talk that. They talk more about business and money, but women tend to share these with their mothers. I was talking to one of my friends, and even he confessed that I can't even talk to my mother that freely about my own relationship. So definitely men do have it. Are they coming out? Whereas are they seeking help? Some do. Some do go get help, but majority, 90%, I don't see men coming out, especially in the South Asian community.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Deepti, because that is one of our main concerns, that they do have all the kind of these issues that we've been talking about, but they don't seek help. And that was actually my next question, that why are these men not seeking help, or do they seek help? And if they do, what kind of help would they seek? Aneela, would you like to tell us something about that?
Vanshika, the thing about seeking help, just to make that background become more visible, I just want to share that we have grown up listening to the fairy tales. We have seen the Bollywood movies, Pakistani dramas, where men are the heroes. They are rescuing the female. They are the strong people. So somewhere in our conscious, in our subconscious, we have men as the hero, who is able to do everything. He is a Superman. There is nothing that can harm him. So, and that's what we expect from the men in our families as well. So when you put them on such a high expectation, uh, every as a human being, everybody doesn't have the same capacity, or maybe it's that not at the same in the same time frame they have this capacity. So when you put those pressures, of course, they want to try to live up to it, because of course, in one of the things in our culture is that we cannot let our family down. We have to put everybody together. They have to stay together. The house is not supposed to break. The parents are supposed to be happy. The wife is supposed to be happy. Children are supposed to be happy. So you can't keep everybody happy. So that's how, those tension build up. But unfortunately, I haven't seen a lot of men seek help in my career as well. So going back to why they don't, certainly there is stigma and there is taboo attached to it, because when they say, okay, I am depressed, it will be a weakness for them, and they don't want to be a weak person. If they are anxious, they don't want to share it, because maybe they'll have a problem at work, or maybe they'll have a problem with the workers, that, oh my God, he has some kind of a mental issue. So because when something starts, there has to be a safe place, where someone in your family, someone in your friends group is able to listen to those emotions, and then maybe suggest, okay, now you need help. It's not just catharsis that would take you over this. Maybe you need help. So that safe place is still missing for our men. Yes, as Deepti said, for women, they have a lot of opportunities. Sometimes the women are, uh, people have soft corners for them, so they have their mothers available to them. They have their children who are supporting them. So it's easier for women to say that, okay, I have this problem, though still they don't say it too. But for men, it's almost like at 90% they will never share it. So when you don't share it, then of course, how can you do the next step to seek help? So I think that's where the point is, when we as women have to give that safe space to our sons, to our brothers, to our fathers, to our spouses, to be open up and say, it's okay if things are not working well. It's okay. It's just this time, it's going to pass. So, it's our responsibility as well.
Absolutely. And like you said, mard ko dard nahi hota. That's our very Bollywood line that we have. And that is like a mindset that we all have over here, that, yeah, men, I mean, I may have seen the females in my family cry, but even if we have lost someone, but to see a man cry, especially in our South Asian community, it's kind of unacceptable. So it's been going on for a long time, and I think men are so pressurized by that being okay, that they just don't get to the point where they are able to express themselves freely. So absolutely. And I'm sorry that it is that way, but this talk today, and many other people who are coming forward and doing this kind of mental awareness, thank you to all of them. Thank you to you both for talking to us about this, because somebody out there listening out there, maybe he's going through something, but he is not confident enough to come out and talk. Maybe when he's listening to this right now, he may feel that, no, this happens to a lot of us. Let me seek some kind of help. Let me seek and, go talk to someone.
And Vanshika, just to add into what you said, those of the Namaste Radio listeners, I just want to make a point here, saying that whenever you seek help, it's going to increase your productivity. because when there is so much going on in your brain, you're not able to make those correct decisions. You're not able to see through those obstacles. So when everything in not just physical but mental health is there, it gives you more opportunity to thrive. It gives you more opportunity to succeed academically, succeed socially. You are able to say yes to those things that have to go on, and exactly say no. So it's important to make that decision, even if it's something that's worrying you. It's not necessary always to have medication. There are so many counselors. If most of the time I've heard the community say that if they go to the same community, somewhere the word is going to leak through the counselor.
Right.
But be assured that it is like HIPAA confidentiality is there, and they are not authorized to leak their information anyhow. But even if you don't want to go to the same ethnic counselors, there is tons of resources available. There are tons of options available that definitely you can make use of.
Absolutely. And we will be talking about those resources at the second half of our show. But before we get on our break, Deepti, do you want to add something to it very quickly?
No, just real quick. Resources are out there, and it's comfortable. The first question when coaching, when I get my male clients, they see South Asian, is first, do you know this people? Do you know this community? And I have to absolutely make sure that I assure them that I do not communicate our personal information to anybody. I do this specifically, cater a specific market, just because I understand the culture. And I've seen many men that my clients come repeatedly now, that they're comfortable with the culture, somebody who understands the culture. And that's very important. So we do need more people in the professional area to market this particular segment, because sometimes different cultures might not understand what you're really truly going through.
Absolutely. So we'll take a short break here and we will be back. You are listening to Namaste Radio special show, Mental Health Awareness in Asian Americans, in association with India House Houston. And it is in partnership with Hawk Foundation and Asian American Health Coalition. Today, I'm talking to Aneela Khan and Deepti Patel. Stay tuned. And we will be back after this very short break. And I would request my guest also to mute themselves during the break. Thank you.
Let's go! Bollywood entertainment, Bollywood gossip, Bollywood classics, to the latest hits, local news and events happening around town, giveaways, and lots of musty. This is Namaste Radio.
Every Saturday at 10 a.m. on 99.5 FM with your hosts, Vanshika, Sushil, and Dolly D.
Listen online at namasteradiohouston.com. Download the app, available on your Android and iPhone.
Namaste Radio.
Welcome to India House Houston. India House is a non-profit organization that serves the community by bringing resources, education, and services to Houstonians like health and fitness programs, language classes, charity clinic, and various events. Help the community now. Sponsor a program or volunteer for free food distribution at India House. Host your next indoor or outdoor events at India House facility, parties, weddings, or corporate events. Located centrally at 8888 West Belford, Houston. For details, call 713-929-1900 or visit indiahouseinc.org. Follow India House Houston on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Welcome back to our very special show on mental health awareness in Asian Americans. My name is Vanshika, and with me hosting and helping us for our live is Sandeep. And today our guest is Deepti Patel and Aneela Khan. Thank you so much for joining us. We are talking about mental health awareness, and our topic for today is specifically mental health awareness in men. It is a topic that not a lot of us discuss, but we are thankful to India House Houston, Hawk Foundation, and Asian American Health Coalition for giving us this opportunity to talk about this. Before the break, we had spoken about like how mental health is not much of a topic spoken between the men. They don't share much, but even when we look at us as a society, should we give them space? Should we give the men space when they are going through, whatever they are going through? It may result in aggressive behavior or different kind of behaviors, not the productivity going low, as Aneela was talking to us in the first segment. So should we give them space? As parents, should we make adjustments to upbringing the men in our society? I know, Aneela, you did touch on this a little bit, but would you like to add more to it in this segment?
So, Vanshika, there is no reason why this space should not be given. If this thing does not start in the family, then where will it start? And if we see the different phases of or stages of life, from childhood to adolescence to middle age to being a senior, so every phase of life needs some kind of a support. So definitely giving a space has to be there. As mothers and as fathers, first of all, we should ensure that our sons have that relationship with us to be able to be open enough to discuss things. Choice of career has always been a very sensitive topic in the Asian household. Remember, Vanshika, that when we did our focus group with the Indian community youth, that was something that they kept repeating, that the parents want a certain career choice for them, and they are not able to listen to what the youth is saying. So this is very important, that the parents should be able to listen to them, because if they do a career choice that's not what they like, it's going to be a conflict with their brain throughout their life. And then within the same age, there is a problem with having those relationships. Sometimes family doesn't approve. So, that brings a conflict as well. After marriage, the women, the spouse have her own criteria for her husband, that he should be good earning, he should be a perfect person, he shouldn't have any problems. The mother and the parents have a different concept about their son, that he should still be listening to them. So that he has to make those choices. So both the parents and the spouse should be ready to make those adjustments. The mother-in-law and the wife should have those openness to hear what he has to say. We say a lot that women have domestic violence, they go through domestic violence and so on. Yes, they do. Of course, there are statistics available, but have we ever sat down and reflect on those normal appearing men that's around us? What are they going through? How much are they able to share our feelings? And then as we moved down after retirement, there are a different set of issues. Of course, the daughters, the daughter-in-law, the spouse, they should be available to listen to the men. So I mean, there is, at every stage of life, if women needs help, definitely men needs help as well. And we should give them that space where they can, open up and discuss.
Absolutely. Very important point, Aneela. Thank you for that. And since you've, you gave us about the upbringing, the space, and also you touched about the relationship factor, not only with the wife, but also managing between the wife and the mother, and which is kind of the most sensitive relationship, and the balance that we seek from our men in our society, balancing between the wife and the mother. And in
the
that
sisters also.
Yes,
For most cases, sisters also, sometimes the sisters are just like the second moms. So they are very important as well.
Yes, they are. And when we talk about relationships, since we have Deepti here, the relationship coach, Deepti, Aneela spoke about, the relationship between mother, sister, and the husband. So tell us the issues that you have come across in your practice with this dynamic, and, overall what men face in relationship, and share some examples with us, please.
Yeah, so obviously, this man has to make sure his wife is pleased, mother is pleased, all the sisters and brothers are pleased, right? So,
yes.
And children. So that's a lot of responsibility to make sure that we make sure that everybody is on the same page and everybody's happy, right? Yeah. So men have gone through a lot, and it's almost they're sandwiched, right, in between people and pleasing. And they don't share emotions. And it's time that their marriages are kind of at a area that they need some counseling help. They don't seek out early on because, again, the stigma. I don't have a problem. As a male, I shouldn't have any problems. So they, as a couple, they don't go and get any help. And what I've seen, and it is at later when the divorce is there or the relationship is ending now, frustration has built up, but they have missed that big part, that they haven't sought any help, they haven't gone anywhere. Suicide is high amongst the men, one other thing that I'm recognizing now is with social media platforms, men are very fearful, and some have already experienced it, that women, once they start detaching themselves, they start emotional affairs. And affairs is a very big thing now in our community. It's all hidden, but it's out there. So once they start this emotional affair, and women are confident, they don't mind leaving the marriage. And, a lot of talks are still hanging. They haven't really, that communication is not there. Children now are involved, societies, so they go through all those struggles. So definitely the space is important to recognize men do need space. If you see somebody in the family, I've experienced my own uncle who committed suicide just a few months ago. He was supposed to be this entrepreneur, successful man. Nobody really noticed him having his issues. We heard about it, that I'm going through, I don't feel good, I've kind of stopped the medication, just so much stress. And, being in the hotel motel industry during COVID, it was very difficult. So did not talk about it. So he took his life. So these are examples what men are going through. And affairs, talking about affairs, it's too late. The marriage has ended. Then men come in and they're like, what did I miss? The biggest part was not talking, trying to provide. You forgot that there was a marriage, there were needs of the family that just kind of got overlooked.
Yeah. And it is very sad. Aneela, you wanted to say something on that?
Yes, I just wanted to share that recently there was in news in the beginning of April in Dallas, there was this Asian family where the boys, one of the boys got the gun and they shot the whole family and then shot themselves. When the neighbors were on news, they said that this was the most perfectly looking family, and nobody knew that something like this was happening. So, that's the perfect example of the situation that the Asian families are in. Yes, we have different set of problems. So we want to struggle hard for the finances. We want to struggle hard for the studies. But then with those struggles, are we keeping up with our mental health? I have not seen a lot of people in our society say it's okay if something has happened. It's okay. If there is a failure, it's not because that person is not able to do. I mean, it's life. Some things happen, but do we give people that space, that failure is a means to learn for the upcoming events in life? It's going to pass away. It's okay if things are not working. So I think somewhere as a society collectively, we need to have those conversations in our families, in our friend circle, that it's okay. We should stop looking down on people who have failures, who have some health issues, who are going through relationship issues, and give them that space to, switch off that pressure cooker that's building up. We have to do that now.
That's right. And we've spoken about, issues and pressures from family, about education, about job. You very rightly said failures, and we try to, put these failures away. We try to think that, no, it's okay. We don't give them the support that they need. They cope up with themselves, and, results in suicide, or different kind of maybe even over drinking, abuse. They're kind of making their own body and their health worse.
Yeah,
But
substance abuse is growing
yes,
in the youth also. But how many of these families acknowledge the fact that these Asian kids are having substance abuse issues, because they just want to hide everything. We don't want to talk about it.
absolutely. I don't know why we always focus on just keeping all the issues very low. पता नहीं इतना क्यों डर है. I think more than our family, there's nothing is more important than our own loved ones. I think first, and just out of my experience, out of concern for everybody, I would request everybody, agar aapko, we've been talking about this entire month, if you see some signs, some change in behavior, something, talk to them. If you feel you're talking to that person is not enough, seek out for help. One important other topic that we see other than education, job, is the pressure of having a child, the pressure of getting married. If someone is single and he's about 30, 35, everyone's like, shadi kyun nahi ho rahi hai? Deepti, would you like to share with us quickly something about, what are the concerns and what kind of, partners these men are seeking, and with all that pressure on their head, because one thing I know, in our South Asian society, we have a life set. Okay, at this age you got to do this. At this age you got to do this. By 30 you should be married, and by 35 you need to have at least 2 kids. But things are changing, and what are these men seeking out there now?
So I have recently, surprisingly, I have men who have never been married, in their mid, early, late 30s, 40s. And again, what are the fears? What are the anxiety? Basically, they're dating at this point, but they're trying to figure out if this is the marriage for them. So when we were getting married young, in the Asian community, we didn't seek out a lot of information. Are we compatible? Is premarital counseling needed? But now when we hit the late 30s and 40s, the women, of course, the fear of marriage, but the men also, am I going to be good enough? Now women have more expectations if you're in the late 30s and 40s. So you have that added layer of success that you have to have. So finances are a big thing, right? So I fear that now the wealth is in South Asian over time has increased. Prenuptial agreements are very important, especially the viewers who have built assets and businesses and hotels and motels and gas stations. When your child is getting married, and if you have an open checkbook and something happens down the pipeline, your finances are kind of at harm. You don't know if your own child is going to go through some kind of, he's passes away. Well, now something else and your wealth is passed to the daughter-in-law or the son-in-law. So finances are important. But at middle, what I'm getting with men right now is, should I get married? Finances is a big thing, you know. Number two, how are we going to match? Because women are equally demanding, unnecessarily too demanding, afraid to commit, compromise, 9 yards, because we have lived that independent 15 years of our lives that, you know, in honesty, do we really need a man? And that kind of attitude doesn't help at all in our community. And that's what our men's fear is. Number one, she's going to be high maintenance, and I don't think I can keep up with it. I think what parents have done is we have kept on providing, and that is harmful later when the children get older.
That's right. And if just listening to it is scary, but at the same time, I also believe that, you know, it's not, you know, important to get married at the age of 20 or 25. And, but, you know, of course, everything adds to it, and early marriage, later marriage, everything has its own pros and cons. But thank you so much for sharing and talking about this very important topic, mental health awareness in men. We have about, you know, 10 minutes left for our show today. So one important part of the show is to give that resource to the people out there, which is the way they can connect to, you know, different organizations. And I know Aneela can help, Deepti, you can help. So starting with Aneela, would you, please, can you share some information about Hope Clinic or any other information that you would like to share, a resource where people can reach out?
Right, definitely. Vanshika, before I share the resources, I just want to add one thing that during this whole previous hour, what we discussed definitely happens in the society. But just to end this program in a very good note, I do want to acknowledge the strengths of the men in our society. They are definitely very responsible people. They are the ones who wants to take that load they have, though they are going through anything, they don't want the family to suffer. So it's so much of their responsibility, is so much of their good character that they carry with them, that, you know, that should be appreciated. And that's why the women in the society have their own responsibility to give these men that appreciation, that space, that yes, they can also share their vulnerabilities. Moving on to the resources, so definitely Asian American Health Coalition, which is actually known as Hope Clinic. We have a complete behavioral health department. We have psychiatrists. The team lead is Indian psychiatrist, so feel free to come and visit if you have anything that you would like to discuss. We have counselors on the team. We have a very good medical and behavioral integration. So people who come to Hope Clinic for any physical reasons, their mental health status is also assessed, and just in case they happen to be in that zone that they would need those services, they are referred to the behavioral health department. Apart from Hope Clinic, the Asian American Attaining Awareness Project, under which is the Hawk Foundation's grant, under which we are doing all these awareness campaigns. We have Ibn Sina Foundation, who also have a behavioral health department. We have Olive Branch Muslim Services, who offer counseling services, marriage services. So we have a variety of organization mix that you could reach out to. Please go and visit our page, Hope Clinic, and then under programs, you will see the program Asian American Attaining Awareness, and we have the full list of resources available. India House is one of the resource available. So definitely anything, please. And if you want to connect to this program, feel free to reach out to me. We have the Youth Resiliency Group that meets every Monday, 4 to 5 p.m. And we have a lot of youth men, Asian men, that are on this group. We discuss different topics. We have trainings available. So, so please feel free to contact me just in case you need it.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing all that resource, Aneela. And also to add to that, Another Texas-based public awareness campaign initiated by the Meadows Mental Health Policy Institute and supported by the Hackett Center for Mental Health is okay to say. Their simple message is that it's okay to talk openly about all of these issues, about anything to do with your mental health. And the easiest way to visit their website is okay, that's OKAY. So okay2say.org or follow okay to say on Facebook. And of course, we have India House Houston doing various different online classes, various different consultation where you can reach out. It helps your mental health. And visit India House Houston website, indiahousinc.org, or call them at 713-929-1900. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram. And Deepti Patel today here is a relationship coach, also consulting through India House every Tuesday. And Deepti, if you can give us more details about how they can get in touch with you.
You can find me on patellifecoach.com, and I'm also volunteering at India House as a relationship and divorce coach if you need that on Tuesdays, 5 to 7. And one more final thought, I think I have to put it out there, you are not alone. Please seek out help, guidance, if it's in relationship, if you need a financial coach, or any other, health, substance abuse, you're not alone. Please go seek out, and I'll throw out a couple of resources out there. The Mankind Project is a nice project to get into and involved with, and also divorce care is through the church, but you don't have to have any religious affiliation, but take advantage of it. Even if you're not going through a divorce, it's worth, if your marriage is on, it's a good 13-week program that kind of helps you how to save a marriage. So there's a lot of information out there, Vanshika, and I'll get back to you on that.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And this month was dedicated to mental health awareness. And me personally, and with Sandeep, I know he joins me, and Sushil, our Namaste Radio team want to really thank India House Houston, because they gave us this opportunity. And a big shout out to Colonel Vipin Kumar, the executive director at India House, whom I very lovingly and blessed to be calling him my dad. So thank you so much for making us a part of this. Somewhere this month has, talking to our panelist, our special, guest over here, has uplifted me, my knowledge, and my entire perspective to look at mental health in a very different way. So thank you so much. And of course, India House Houston is doing great work out there. Go out, indiahousinc.org. And to our guests who are here today, Aneela, thank you. You were there with us at the first beginning of this series. You're there with us today. You're doing so much great work, Aneela. More power to you, to the entire Hawk Foundation initiative, to Asian American Health Coalition, Hope Clinic. Thank you so much. And Deepti, you spoke with us last week about relationship, divorce, specializing in divorce. And you were so kind enough to come back today and talk to us about mental health awareness in men. We reached out, touched at different topics on mental health, all different 4 weeks. This was a very small initiative, and choti si ek koshish, that we wanted to reach out to people so that at least they know that help is out there. If you feel something, reach out. And hopefully we'll be back with more. And again, thank you so much. But one thought that today, and Aneela, thank you for bringing that up. Our lives as a woman, it's not complete without a man. He can be my dad. He can be my brother. He can be my husband. He can be my son. So we as women, it is not always their duty to support us, but it is our duty to support these beautiful and amazing and handsome men in our life. So sometimes if they need the space, give it to them. Sometimes if they need help, give it to them. But yes, they are very important, and all of us together can make a difference and help each other. Thank you again so much to everybody for tuning into this special series on Namaste Radio. We will be back on Saturday with our show at 10 a.m. on 99.5 FM on Namaste Radio's Facebook page. Thank you so much again. for tuning in. Thank you, Deepti. Thank you, Aneela.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
having me.
Vanshika.
Thank you. Looking forward to talking to you both very,
Definitely.
very soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Thank
for having
you.
us. Mhm. Bye-bye.
And thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Namaste Radio. Keep listening. You can follow us on Namaste Radio Facebook page, Instagram page. You can visit our website, namasteradiohouston.com, and of course, download our apps on iPhone or Android. And if you have any feedback, please message us on our Facebook page, Namaste Radio, or you can email us at namasteradio3@gmail.com. Thank you so much. Stay safe out there. Thank you.